Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Chandra Baba Hridayadhari Gopi Chandra Baba Hridayadhari Yashoda Nandana Praja Jana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Praja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Hridayadhari Yashoda Nandana Praja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we're reading today from the Srimad-bhagavatam, 8th Canto, Chapter 6, several verses, because most don't have purports, 21 to 28. So this is number 21 here. And the chapter is called Demigods and Demons Declare a Truce. Nobody can hear over here. Okay, so the first verse, or the first in Sanskrit. Amritot padane yatna. Amrito padane yatna. Kriyatam avilambitam Yasya pitasya vaijantur Mrityu vasto maro bhavet Mritotpadane yatna Kriyatam avilambitam Yasha pitasya vaijantur Mrityu grasto maro bhavet Amritot padane yatna Kriyatam avilambitam Yasha pitasya vaijantur Mrityu grasto maro bhavet Amrito padane yatna Kriyatam avilambitam Yasha pitasya vaijantur Mrityu grasto maro bhavet Amrito padane yatna Kriyatam avilambitam Yasha pitasya vaijantur Mrityu grasto maro bhavet. Word for word synonyms. Amrita utpadane in generating nectar. Yatnaha endeavor. Kriyatam do. Avilambitam without delay. Yasha of which nectar. Pitasya anyone who drinks. Vai indeed. Jantuhu living entity. Mrityu grastaha although in imminent danger of death. Amaraha immortal. Bhavet can become. Immediately endeavor, this is Lord Vishnu speaking, immediately endeavor to produce nectar, which a person who is about to die may drink to become immortal. Repeat after me. Immediately endeavor to produce nectar, which a person who is about to die may drink to become immortal. And there's no purport on this one. So we'll go further. I don't have any more Sanskrit verses written up, so I'll just chant them quickly. Shiptvakshiro sarva virutrinna lataun shadi mantanang mandarang kvitva netram kvitva tu vasukim sahayena maya deva nirmantadvam atandriyaha kleshabajo Vavishanti Daitya Yuyang Pala Graha. O demigods, cast into the ocean of milk all kinds of vegetables, grass, creepers, and drugs. Then, with my help, making Mandara mountain, the churning rod, we described this yesterday, and Vasuki, the rope for churning, churn the ocean of milk with undiverted attention. Thus the demons will be engaged in labor, but you, the demigods, will gain the actual result, the nectar produced from the ocean. And here's a short purport here. It appears that when different kinds of drugs, creepers, grass, and vegetables are put into this milk, and the milk is churned, as milk is churned for butter, the active principles of the vegetables and drugs mix with the milk, and the result is nectar. Okay. Yuyang tad anumodat twang yadi chandra sura suraha na sangram vena siddhanti sarvarta santavaya yatha. My dear demigods, with patience and peace, everything can be done. But if one is agitated by anger, the goal is not achieved. Therefore, whatever the demons ask, agree to their proposal. Okay. Nabetavyam kalakutad vishaj jaladi sambhavat loba karyo navo jatu Rosha Kamastu Vastusu. A poison known as Kalakuta will be generated from the ocean of milk, but you should not fear it. And when various products are churned from the ocean, you should not be greedy for them or anxious to obtain them, nor should you be angry. Purport. It appears that by the churning process, many things would be generated from the ocean of milk, including poison, valuable gems, nectar, and many beautiful women. The demigods were advised, however, not to be greedy for the gems or the beautiful women, but to wait patiently for the nectar. The real purpose was to get the nectar. We're on to 28, so here's 27. Atatasmai bhagavate namaskritya pitamamaha bhavascha jagmatu swang damo payor balim siraha. Then Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, offering their respectful obeisances to the Lord, returned to their abodes. All the demigods then approached Maharaj Bali. Maharaj Bali, a most celebrated king of the demons, knew very well when to make peace and when to fight. Thus, although his commanders and captains were agitated and were about to kill the demigods, Maharaj Bali, seeing that the demigods were coming to him without a militant attitude, forbade his commanders to kill them. Purport. Vedic etiquette enjoins grihe shatrum api praptam vishvatstam akuto vayam. When enemies come to their opponent's place, they should be received in such a way that they will forget that there is animosity between the two parties. We never see that these days. Bali Maharaj was well conversant with the arts of peacemaking and fighting. Thus he received the demigods very well, although his commanders and captains were agitated. This kind of treatment was prevalent even during the fight between the Pandavas and the Kurus. During the day, the Pandavas and Kurus would fight with utmost strength, and when the day was over, they would go to each other's camps as friends and be received as such. During each friendly meeting, during such friendly meetings, one enemy would offer anything the other enemy wanted. That was the system. Om Ajnana Timiranda Shakana Chana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Nina Tasmai Shri Gurave. Yeah, the Vedic system was there was a lot of emphasis put on doing things as duty, religious duty. And there's a lot of religious rules and regulations, but materially and spiritually. We're more concerned with the spiritual rules and regulations, what is directly favorable for devotional service. But in the Vedic culture, most people were interested mostly in their material things. So if you were a Kshatriya, there were certain rules and regulations and certain religious principles you did, certain things you didn't do, and maybe you as a Kshatriya you were required to fight. Arjuna, as a Kshatriya, was saying, "Not me. I'm sitting out on this one, battle for Kurukshetra." But Krishna convinced him that this is your duty. You must fight. It was a religious war, so he had to fight because Krishna wanted him to fight. So like that. So things were done very much on the basis of duty, and what's being described here is actually hard to conceive of. It's just not something you see in present time. You imagine if, say, we're at war with Russia or something, and then you go over there and visit the Russian leader and have a very nice, friendly talk. Oh, you were really fighting good today. Your soldiers are really first class. In a friendly way. And then but then the next day you're out there trying to kill each other. But that was actually the system. The enemies were actually, you walk in these days they walk into the enemy camp, you'll get arrested, you'll get thrown in jail, maybe you'll be killed. You don't know what's going to happen. But then you go into the enemy camp at the end of the day, and it's a friendly relationship but the next morning they're both trying to kill each other because they're each trying to do what they consider to be their religious duties. So, and Bali Maharaj was basically the king of the demons at the time. He was in a very big position. But Bali Maharaj was, or at least at one point, became recognized as a Mahajan. Mahajan means there were 12 listed at the time, 12 authorities, 12 authorities on Vedic knowledge. So he was actually like that. And even though he was in the family, in the position as the leader of the demons, his inclination was actually being a devotee. Somehow he was in that position. Just like Prahlad Maharaj. Bali Maharaj is actually he's a descendant of Prahlad Maharaj. It comes later in the family, down the line. So this is Prahlad Maharaj was born in a family of demons, Hiranyakashipu. There was no bigger demon at that time. And Prahlad Maharaj was there, but he was a pure devotee of Krishna. So sometimes these things happen in that way. So Bali Maharaj was also born and engaged in the family of demons, but his inclination was to surrender to Vishnu. But he was in that position, and he tried to act in that position. But anyway, he was smart. He was an intelligent leader. So when the demigods approached under the instruction of Lord Vishnu, they approached him. He received them very nicely. He gave them all good treatment. Made a nice relationship with them, at least during that visit. At the same time, there were, his Bali Maharaj's commanders and people in charge of his armies. We say looking for blood. They wanted to kill all the demigods. That was their mood. But he said, no, let's receive them very nicely. So that's how things were done. Previous purport, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning that many things were generated. We'll read later on exactly what came out of this churning of the ocean of milk with all the fruits and vegetables and herbs and different kind of things that he said to put in there. You put it in there, you churn it up, and different things will come out, including valuable gems and beautiful women, and all kinds of things will be generated like that. But he's telling the demigods, keep your eye on the prize. Don't get distracted. What you want out of this is the nectar, which will also come. So Lord Vishnu is giving this very good advice to the demigods. What you want especially in this dangerous condition you're in right now, is to get the nectar. Nectar is something that if you drink it, it says you're becoming immortal, but I'm sure it doesn't mean you get a spiritual body. Maybe the demigods are sometimes considered or referred to as called immortal, but they're not immortal in the sense of it's a spiritual body and you live for you never die ever. But you get it because they have a very long duration of life compared to other places. So they're sometimes referred to, at least on Earth, you refer to a demigod, you might refer to them as being immortal. So which is for someone who doesn't understand the science very well, they'll think the demigods, okay, they're immortal. They got all this facility for sense gratification. They live forever. I want to go there. But Bhagavad Gita says, Aprama Bhuvana Loka Punar Arvartina Arjuna, that from the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest planet, the most hellish planet, all are places of misery, all of them, where repeated birth and death take place. Repeated birth and death. So even if you're in the highest planet, you're going to die, and you're going to take birth again somewhere, and you don't know where you're going to take birth, because you may not be a demigod the next time. In fact, chances are, if you were a demigod previously, you're not a demigod in the next birth, because you're there until you use up your pious results, and then you have to fall back down to a lower status, maybe to Earth or an Earth-like planet. Shishi Gauranitai, Shishi Radha Prajabihari, Jagannath, Balaram, Lady Subhadru, and Shikane Prahlad Maharaj Ki. So, but anyway, Lord Vishnu was advising that they should strive to get the nectar, and don't worry about the poison. I guess we're going to read it when the poison comes. We'll read about it, but it's a quick preview. When the poison came out, then what do you do with poison? You just want to stay away from it. But Lord Shiva, who was an extraordinary person, he actually drank that poison, so much poison. And if you see a picture of Lord Shiva, his neck is bluish. It's bluish because of the poison. He swallowed it. It didn't kill him, but it did make his neck turn blue, I say. So, and a little bit of the nectar, a little bit of the poison that dripped here and there became the poison from poisonous animals, like poisonous snakes and poisonous other things that are poisonous. Some spiders are poisonous, and like that. That poison came from this poison. It came from this churning of the milk ocean. Now you go and tell people in general about these things, and they'll say, "Nice story." Yeah, nice story. I don't believe that stuff. It's just like a fairy tale. No, it may seem like that because it's beyond our experience, beyond our experience. But the fact is that everything in the Srimad-bhagavatam and the Bhagavad Gita and so on are true. They're a fact. We may not understand it, and we may not be able to directly prove that it's true, but of course no one can prove that it's not true either. So we accept these things as the truth. And if you're well, again, it does take a certain amount of faith to practice Krishna consciousness. It requires some faith. And of course every religion says, yeah, just have faith. Have faith in Jesus, have faith in Prophet Muhammad, have faith in Buddha, have faith in whatever like that. Everyone's saying have faith. And a lot of people have a hard time keeping that faith, especially when things go difficult. God, give me my daily bread. God, give me a new car. And you get the car, you say, wow, praise the Lord. And if you don't get the new car, or you lose your existing car, things get difficult in your life, then why is God doing this to me? Why, does he hate me? Does he even exist anymore? And then there's no faith. So how do we have faith in Krishna consciousness when we're told that these things are true, and we think how, and we're supposed to believe it? Well, we may not. We read these stories or histories. We read them, and it's beyond our comprehension. It's beyond our experience. It's a lot of the things that we read about here. These activities going on the heavenly planets, and the demons, and the demons and demigods fighting, and the whole universe. We have we have civil wars, we have world wars, and then we have interplanetary wars, Star Wars, and like that. But these things actually exist from time to time in the universe, and there is life on every planet. Every planet. Planets are there. The planets are there for a reason. They're not just lumps of dirt or stone or whatever floating around in space, and maybe some microbial something may come about from the combination of chemicals. These are the ideas. But no, every planet is there. Every planet is there, has life. It's there because it is a residence for some kind of life. And I'm not talking about just microbial you know, germ type life. I'm talking about actual civilizations. The higher planets, or the Mars planet, the moon, the sun, they're all higher. Venus, most of these planets are higher planets, and they're full of civilization, high level civilization, higher than Earth. If you look in the Srimad-bhagavatam, 5th Canto, there's a description of the different planetary systems and how and different planets and where they actually are, and it's in terms of, the universe actually has a top and a bottom in the middle. So we're in the middle here, and there are higher planets, higher planetary systems going up, and there are lower planetary systems going down. The lower planetary systems would be, or some of them would be, what you would call hell. We talk about hell being down, going down to hell, But and it is actually down relative to in the universe. It's not down in the middle of the Earth, that I'm aware of, but it's actually planets lower than us. And there's civilizations there too, but they're meant for suffering, a lot of suffering, depending on the particular kind of sinful activities one engaged in. For eating meat, there's certain kind of reactions. For illicit sex, there's certain kind of reactions. You have to embrace your force, by force, if it was a man who was engaged like that, he's forced to embrace a red hot iron form of a woman. Okay, you want to embrace and all this now, and in this material world, when you're not have proper marriage and all that. You want to do that? Okay, you can do that, but you should know that you're going to be embracing the same form, but made of iron, and it's red hot, forced in the hellish planet. It's a sinful reaction to these things. If someone is extremely greedy, it's described that there's a hell where the Yamadutas, the people who inflict the suffering, actually cause, it's like we can sew a pillow or sew something onto a piece of cloth. So they're actually the actual bodies of the people are being sewn. Now, but all this is on the subtle platform, but you don't know that. You're actually going there in your subtle body, and because you're going in there in your subtle body, all these things don't kill you, but you don't know, you have no realization that you're not that body. So you're very much suffering the result, and then sometimes you have to suffer it again and again and again and again, one time after another, and in your perception of time, this may be going on for thousands of years, but it's relative time, so that you can finish one life, and if you have a lot of suffering to do, you go through all that, but maybe after a few minutes of, say, Earth time, you're taking another birth, maybe in a human body, maybe in an animal body. We don't know. It depends on your activities. Anyway, these things are described in good detail in the Srimad-bhagavatam. The higher planets, the lower planets, and of course we have experience of the middle planets, which is basically where we are right now. According to this, I have about 7 minutes. I'd like to. Are there any questions?
Yes. So the nectar was produced first, right?
The nectar. I don't know for sure which order it comes in. Huh? I'm not hearing. It couldn't come out simultaneously, the nectar and poison, right? Oh, at the same time? It's all part of the same churning. Which order it came out, I don't know. But what Vishnu is telling, this will happen, this will happen, this will happen, and be patient until wait for the nectar. So it sounds like the nectar didn't. Well, the nectar comes sometime after the poison, according to that. They knew. They knew. They were expecting it, and he said, don't get distracted. Don't get distracted by these other things. The poison, don't be afraid of it. The beautiful women that are coming out, don't be distracted by that. The gems, so much wealth that will be churned out of this ocean. Don't get distracted by that. Just wait until the nectar comes. We'll see what happens when the nectar comes. That goes into how the demons got tricked by the Lord. But I don't want to give it all away just yet. Any other questions? Wait. No? We got a few minutes left. I see. We'll have some time for questions today. You gotta cook. Okay. Nothing? Let me just check real quick, make sure nobody's online has asked anything. Nothing here. Okay, so in